Rick says he totally agrees. I've never bought nothing off the Temu, Rick. I've been tempted. Oh, my God. I saw it was like a real nice winter parka, some fake generic-looking Timberland boots for $2.19.
I tried it for sugar, honey, iced tea, and giggles. See what I did there?
I saw what you did there.
Yeah. And I just, I seen something fashionable. I'm a very big merch guy. I like, if it's nice looking, I'll buy it no matter what brand it is. And I bought something in an extra large, and their extra large run extremely small.
Sure does. So that's something else if you buy the Chinese products, which I wish I could tell you to boycott Chinese products, but it's pretty much too late for that. I bought something off of Amazon, and it's the Chinese-made company because if you look, when you buy stuff off of Amazon, you got to look and see the reviews, and then it'll say the name of the company that is either the exporter or the brand name, okay? And it's, that's the name of the, and I'm not being racist when I say that. I'm saying that's the name. You know what I mean, Rick? Like if you look at the name, like, oh, that's a nice T-shirt. Oh, it's $4.99 off this off of Amazon, not off of the Temus. And you go and you scroll down, and that's where you see the discounts and you see all the things, and then you see the name of the manufacturer. That's the name of it. And that's how you know it's Chinese. But the Chinese people they're little people. They're little small Chinese people. Not all of them. There's some big Chinese people. But their sizes run small because Americans are fat. So a double XL in China is like a schmedium. You know what I mean? So you got to go like...
And the quality was like trash.
But it's cheap, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. I feel like only like tiny people like who wears a small or medium can pull off Temu and make it look good. In my opinion. And this is coming from a big guy. I'm a big guy.
Yeah, you're pretty thick.
Wait a minute.
What?
Hold on.
With two C's.
I ain't that fat now. Hold on. I used to be a big one. When we first met, I was knocking on 400 pounds.
Woo! You were?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You were big.
I was like 410 pounds and a 6 extra large.
That's thick with 3 C's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of weight on the knees. But now I done slimmed down. So now I'm 240 and I wear a size 38 in the waist.
Wow.
Because I was wearing a size 54. Horrible. I had to go to Destination XL. That's a big guy store.
You could use your underwear for a parachute probably back then.
Yeah.
TikTok is already banned in a handful of countries and from government-issued devices in a number of others due to official worries that the app poses privacy and cybersecurity concerns. So ByteDance, the parent company, if you are involved with ByteDance at all, which TikTok is, you have to be loyal to the Chinese government. So everything that ByteDance does, all of its applications, all of its software, turns its data over to the Chinese government. And remember, the Chinese government hates us. And if they can manipulate an algorithm on TikTok, they can further keep Americans divided, not just with like political content, and not just with the algorithms and how they can be manipulated and can be manipulative. The way they show like women and the way they show minorities sometimes is overtly stereotypical, and that further divides a country that has been made vulnerable because we don't have a strong, cohesive federal government. We'll take a break, come back, and we're going to further develop this point. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be back shortly.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free free truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
You know, in life, our journey is not meant to be walked alone. As much as self-reliance and independence are celebrated, we need an inner circle, a group of trusted friends who uplift, challenge, and remind us of our purpose. Your inner circle is more than just companionship. It's your compass. These are the people who see your potential when self-doubt clouds your vision, who tell you the truth even when it's uncomfortable, and who stand beside you when the weight of the world feels unbearable. You know, the value of an inner circle is not just in the emotional support, but in accountability. They hold us to our highest standards, ensuring we don't settle for mediocrity. It's through this circle that we refine our thoughts, grow in character and courage to face life's battles. Today is no exception. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, energize you, and believe in your dreams as much as you do. They will then shape your growth, strengthen your resilience, and celebrate your victories. You know, James Baldwin once said, "The place in which I will fit will not exist until I make it." Your inner circle is part of that place, a foundation for your growth, your success, and most importantly, belonging.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
For those of you watching and or listening on the YouTubes, we restarted our YouTube stream because we were having some of those technical difficulties. It's probably the Chinese that infiltrated our YouTubes. So feel free to join us back on our new YouTube stream for The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. If you haven't done so already, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth and hit subscribe, and you'll be able to see our live in studio cameras. If you ever miss a show, you have a bunch of options. You can go and rewatch on the YouTube, or you can download our free 1017 The Truth app, where you can find the podcasts and all of the interviews and all of the things that we say on the apps. All right, so I know it's painful for some of you all, especially because most Americans don't consider foreign policy when they make their political decisions. Apparently, this last election was about the cost of gas and bacon and eggs and something inflation, and then not Kamala Harris. So gas is too expensive, bacon is a lot, eggs are too much for a dozen, and then not Kamala Harris was also in somebody's calculus in the decisions that they made for the November 5th election. But rarely is it how our enemies are looking to further destroy this country. You destroy this country from within. You can't out-army the United States. Our army is big. We got a bunch of people in the army. And I don't even really know how or why, because it's not a requirement. Some people just join the army. They love America that much. They just join an Army and the Navy and the Air Force and the Marines and the National Guard. And then there's other people, too, the Merchant Marines. I don't even know what they are. Are they the Marines that purchase things? because they're merchants. I'm not sure. I probably should Google that. And then you have the Reserve Officer Training Corps. Those are like mini army people that are getting ready to go into the army. ROTC are people that you see on college campuses, and they're always jogging. You ever notice that the ROTC, they're always running? They're either getting exercise or they're always in a hurry. Shout out to the ROTC. But the fact that China does not allow TikTok to exist in China because it is a program and an algorithm that can exploit negative things and create division amongst people. So if you're going to beat the United States, you have to get us as Americans to beat up on each other, to hate each other, for us to be fragmented, and for us to have a federal government that further sows those divisions. That's why I think that Donald Trump is being blackmailed. That's why I think he wanted all those classified documents so he can get out from under the bind that he was in financially. And I think it's Vladimir Putin that has him by his testicles. Can I say testicles on the air, Rick? Well, I just said it. Should I say it again just to make sure? Testicles? You divide this country and you hurt this country from within. Because you can't like launch a bunch of missiles at America because we got so many missiles. We have many missiles. And so if you can use a program, an algorithm like TikTok to show exploitative images of women and then all the negative comments that feed into all of the anger and the animosity that already exists between men and women, and then you show a trans person, then you show somebody in drag, and Americans get all mad, and we just further divide each other from one another. And Donald Trump and his administration and his view of how the federal government should work is not helping. This is why this country is screwed. So will banning TikTok solve everything? No, but having TikTok available in this country is like taking your cell phone with everything in it. Your nudes, your little secret text messages, your little secret folders, your photographs, all of you guys got nudes. I guarantee you got nudes. I bet you 74% of women have nudes. Men, you probably got some nudes too, but that's gross. Who wants to see a man naked? Ugh, disgusting. Men are hairy and gross. Imagine taking your cell phone and all the private contents that are in it and turning it over to your enemy. Think about that person you hate. Everybody hates somebody. Imagine just giving your phone to someone that just you can't stand and they can't stand you, and you give them access to all of your contents. That essentially is what TikTok is doing. TikTok not being available in China reminds me of the story of John Broderson, which I tell at least once a year. And now that it's 2025, I probably should ready myself to tell the John Broderson story again. I tell it every single year because most people are just baffled by it. John Broderson used to be the owner and the proprietor of every Popeye's chicken restaurant in Wisconsin. Not just in Wisconsin, but in Wayne County, which is Detroit, and on the island of Puerto Rico, because back in the early 90s, we realized that Puerto Ricans on the island love fried chicken too. Go figure. It must be the black that's in them. You know, Puerto Ricans are native people and African. So they're basically us. They're just on an island. Puerto Ricans are black people that didn't quite make it to America, right? They got off at stop one. They didn't come to America, right? John Broderson had a house so big, 4650 North Lake Drive. I remember the address. His house was so big that it looked like a middle school. It's huge. Bought with Popeye's chicken money, okay? I think the house has been torn down. I think somebody bought it and tore it down. But that used to be the address, 4650 North Lake Drive. And I knew what his address was because some years ago I met with a bunch of really liberal, rich white people that wanted to pool their money together because they really wanted to invest in the black community and they didn't know how. So they called me to meet with them, which is odd. I mean, I took the meeting, of course, and they kept referring to, they're thinking about all these rich people that they know, like, oh, so-and-so can be involved, and oh, we can call so-and-so. And they're just naming all these really rich, liberal white people that would invest their money in an initiative in the black community. And they kept referring to this person as 4650. Oh, we got to call 4650. Nah, 4650 won't participate. Well, I got to call 4650. And at the risk of sounding ignorant, I asked these two very wealthy white people who were naming other wealthy white people that were progressive enough to want to invest their big money in some initiative that would help the black community. I raised my hand. I was like, hi, who and or what is a 4650? And they both looked at me like, oh, you don't know? John Broderson was so rich and his house was so big, they refer to him by his address. John Broderson is an interesting story because he made his money off of Popeye's chicken, but never let his kids eat it. I need you to think about that. Made his money off of Popeye's chicken. We talk about Popeye's chicken on this show once a week. He never let his kids eat it because it's unhealthy. Popeye's chicken is for you, not for him and his family. TikTok is for you, not for people in China. On that note, I'm going to take a break, come back, and we're going to talk to DoorDash Rob on line 1. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Juice WRLD, what do you like to do in the morning time?
You know what, Benjamin? I like to do my radio show in the morning time.
Wait, we doing the radio show in the morning?
That is right. Jamming with Juice is now moving on up to 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
So you can listen to us in your mama's house, in your mama's car, your daddy's house. You can listen to us on the way to school. Even watch us on YouTube.
So tap in for our debut morning of Jamming with Juice on January 20th, 2025.
From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Wipe the crust out your eyes.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance, and you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Literally one call, that's all.
I made one call, and that's all, worry-free.
One call, that's all. It worked.
Just one call, and that's all.
They will do what they say they're going to do. One call, and that's all.
One call, that's all means security.
It's literally one call, that's all.
It's a phrase we'll never forget. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Milwaukee Bucks youth basketball camps and clinics are the perfect place for your child to develop their basketball skills in an interactive team environment. Our 4-week Little Dribblers camps are back in action this winter and open to kids ages 4 to 10. Every Little Dribblers participant will receive a jersey, Bucks youth basketball branded ball, ticket to a home game, and a chance to show their skills at Pfizer Forum during the 24-25 season. To learn about upcoming programs, visit bucks.com/youth basketball.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
(833-212-1017). 833-212-1017 is our phone number here. Let's talk to DoorDash Rob. You're on 1017 The Truth.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Hughes, man? It's me again, brother. The DoorDash guy.
Hi, DoorDash guy.
We talked last week. Anyway, here's some history about China. This will make sense with the TikTok thing. It's all about payback. You are absolutely right. They're trying to destroy the country from within, because if you understand history, and I know you do, I study history and study languages as a hobby, but it's all about the Opium Wars back from the late 1700s and the early 1800s, where the United Kingdom, Germany, even the USA and the Dutch were importing opium and trying to destroy that country from within to get all those ports from Hong Kong, Shanghai, all those ports. And because opium doesn't grow there, it grows in the Middle East. So the UK, United Kingdom, was taking it from the Middle East and importing it. And you have to believe me, you can look that up. And
called
also
the Silk
Boxer
Road.
Rebellion.
That is the trail in which the opium left the Orient into Western Europe.
That is correct. And they were sending it, China didn't have a lot of good ships, but, you know, England was masters of the sea, so they were bringing that stuff in, you know, by millions of pounds, trying to destroy the country. So that's why they hate us and the Germans and the British, you know, and the Boxer Rebellion. We actually had United States Marine Corps troops on the ground in the early 1900s for the Boxer Rebellion. We actually fought in China before. And not during World War II. We did that too, but in, you know, this is way 1900s. They made a movie about it, which I forgot about. Charlton Heston was in that movie. They had the Marines on ground. So they don't like it. They're trying to destroy us from within. You're absolutely right. But if you understand why, not just because of they're communist and they don't like democracy, it's because of a long-standing history. Most Americans aren't taught any of this stuff. They hate us because we participated in that opium trade. And, you know, one of our favorite people, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, his middle name Delano, the Delanos became very rich because they imported opium to China. That's you can look that up. It's in the Nation magazine. I was shocked when I read that. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's how they made their money? That's how they made their money, through opium trade.
Well, thank you, Rob.
The Delanos. Yep. So I'm like, it blew my mind. I'm like, are you kidding? This guy, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and his family was in the opium trade. And that's how they made their money.
All right, Rob.
Crazy, isn't it?
Have fun today, DoorDash. Appreciate the history lesson. Afghanistan, TikTok has been banned since 2022, along with video game PUBG, after the country's Taliban leadership decided to forbid access on the grounds of protecting young people from being misled. Australia, TikTok is not allowed on devices issued by the Australian federal government. Attorney General Mark Dreyfus said he made the decision after getting advice from the country's intelligence and security agencies. Belgium, the National Security Council, decided last month to indefinitely ban TikTok from devices owned or paid for by the federal government. The ban was issued on a temporary basis last year on worries about cybersecurity, privacy, and misinformation. Prime Minister Alexander De Croo said it was based on warnings from the country's State Security Service and Cybersecurity Center. Canada. Devices used by the federal government are forbidden from using TikTok. Officials cited an unacceptable risk to privacy and security. China. TikTok has never been available in mainland China, a fact that CEO Shou Chu has mentioned in testimony to U.S. lawmakers. ByteDance instead offers Chinese users Douyin, a similar video sharing app that follows Beijing's strict censorship rules. Denmark, the European Union. TikTok is banned in France, India, Indonesia, Latvia, the Netherlands, Nepal, New Zealand, Norway. Only our stupid asses got TikTok. All these other countries banned it. Norway, Pakistan. It's banned in Somalia, Taiwan, the UK. All these nations have banned TikTok already, and we over here the ones mad that we can't have TikTok no more. It is a major threat to national security, and it's just like turning your cell phone over and all the contents in it, including your nudes, over to your worst enemy. No one would ever do that, right? That is why TikTok needs to go. Unless, of course, Elon Musk comes over here and saves it. Then he'll have your nudes. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Monday, January 20th, because that is the official launch date for my new show, Truth to Power. Every day from 12 to 1, I will have a community conversation which matters to you. From topics like our property tax bill price hike to the incredible MPS students getting millions of dollars in scholarships to why y'all need to leave Travis Hunter the heck alone, I have you covered. So make sure you tune into the debut of Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, on Monday, January 20th from 12 to 1 on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris are joined by Steve Jones, host of the Dunker Spot podcast. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was a song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. This hour, I think I'm going to feature more music from this current artist you're listening to right now. Her name is Ruby. I just love her take on R&B. She is a British artist that grew up listening to Black American R&B music, and she has created her own style, which is like a culmination of classic R&B and soul. It's very rhythmic and bluesy. So this hour's artist is going to be Ruby. Want to share with you some information from Gallup, which has recently asked the American people where they feel the country has lost ground or gained ground under Joe Biden. I do not yet know what the legacy of Joe Biden is going to be, because it usually takes decades for the impact of a presidency to be felt. So it's going to be hard to conceptualize the benefits or the negative aspects of the Biden administration, like in totality, right, for years to come. We could look at, like, so right about now, the Obama presidency has come into focus. If there are more Americans that have health insurance and more Americans that go to the doctor and more Americans that, are getting, what do they call it? Preventative care. That's the word I'm looking for. That we can say, oh, that's a great benefit from the Affordable Care Act, which is now, Obamacare is 15 years old. Ain't that crazy? But it takes a while for the policies of an administration to have impacts in a country, because the country is big. So think about it like this. And this always made me real angry. So the Emancipation Proclamation was signed on and went into effect January 1st, 1863. But we don't celebrate Juneteenth Day until June 19th, because in 1865, that is when the last person in chattel bondage was liberated, and that was in Galveston, Texas. You know how mad I would have been if I was down in Texas just slaving away. Oh, I'm just a slaving. I'm doing all the slave things. I think I would have been a terrible slave. A terrible slave or a good one, I'm not sure. I would have been one or the other. And imagine finding out from the Union soldiers that came and liberated Galveston, Texas, and he came on a horse. It was a bunch of white dudes wearing army uniforms, and the people were just slaving. They're just They're singing slave songs. They're just slaving away, and they're humming and slaving. And a white guy comes on a horse and says, "Hey, y'all been free for 2.5 years. You can go now." Why? It took 2.5 years. Well, because the country is big. America's big, and information did not flow nearly as quickly. So you have to wonder why it takes so long for the policies of a presidential administration. Probably a really bad example I gave y'all. I probably shouldn't have used the slave example. Are we still sensitive about slavery? Obviously we are. Sorry if I offended any current slaves. But in order for governors and members of Congress to get on board and to implement federal policies into states, and it filters down into counties, into cities, and then it can have an impact on people's lives, and then word starts to spread, and there's a marketing campaign to promote something like the Affordable Care Act. It takes a while for those things to actually show measurable improvements to where we can look at those improvements with data, facts, and statistics. If the number of people who are catching their cancer diagnoses early because they're getting preventative care is saving more lives, then we can say, oh, Obamacare actually worked. But it takes a really long time and lots of what we call longitudinal data in order for us to measure the impacts of the presidency. We don't know what the impact of Joe Biden's infrastructure bill may be. I know that lead pipes have been removed in places all over the country. So if children have lower levels of lead in their system and they're performing better on IQ tests and on standardized tests, and they're graduating from high school at higher rates, we may not know that until some point in the future. So it's going to take a while for us to know the impact of a president's administration overall. And so Gallup recently asked the American people, and they're a very trusted polling agency, probably the most trusted because they're mostly non-political, where they believed America made progress and where we, let's say, lost ground or where we're lagging. And I find these results very telling. So I'm going to share this information with you so you can get a benchmark of where Americans are as we're starting to look back on the Biden presidency. And then I want to share with you details of the Jack Smith report. He was the federal prosecutor that was investigating Donald Trump. He has released his 170 pages of documents relating to the Donald Trump investigation on Trump's involvement on January 6th, 2021. Before we get to that, let's talk to Al. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I was reading something yesterday, and J.D. Vance said that the rioters should not be given pardons. I thought that was kind of funny. Now, I know you brought up, that's it. I said that too. I said, so even J.D. Vance got some common sense to a degree. Here's the thing that I noticed, too, with a lot of our Trump supporters, and with TikTok, let them take it. A lot of people choose to be dumb and stupid, and and nobody is born stupid and dumb. That is a learned learned. That's something that's learned. But going forward, Donald Trump, mammy, is an immigrant. His pappy is an immigrant who fled Germany, who was lying to people in Germany who said they were from Scotland, Sweden. His grandmammy was an immigrant. His grandpappy was an immigrant who could not speak a lick of English. So he is a product of immigrants. So everything he speak against is what he is. But I don't understand for these people who was born in American, how are y'all so dumb to go against somebody who against their own self? He talks about these wars. He didn't even serve in the war. Him and his pappy dodged the draft. And that's a disrespect to the veterans who got PTSD. His products is made in China and Honduras, and only a small portion is made in California. He's not American in no way. His brother died of alcoholism and being a damn drunk, and he's trying to steer y'all the American way. But I guess some of you choose to be stupid. These racist people in these small rural towns like Freedom, Wisconsin, they're more American than Donald Trump. Donald Trump don't know nothing about getting up at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, working on farms, cleaning catfish, cleaning raccoons and getting the muscle up under the arms and making rabbit stew and killing pigs. He's a trust fund baby who's a failure. But I guess some of these Americans is just that dumb. It's just dumber than a bag of bricks that they want to walk in the shoes of a failure. And I'm still trying to understand, why do y'all want to be dumb for somebody who's birth of dumb, and they're the totally opposite of something that you cannot do? So I'm gonna hang up and listen and see your response. And then the other question I want you to ask later down the road: was Rosa Parks on the bus when she had a husband?
Why was Rosa Parks on the bus when she had a husband? Is that the question?
Yeah, because they said she was married. So I'm like, if she got a husband, she shouldn't have been on the bus.
Oh.
Because if you on the bus and you got a husband, you should have been divorced. Because why should anybody be getting on the bus and you saying I do, and you urinating me all night, and I got to sit on the back of the bus when we got a car. But I want you to stay on topic first with the Donald Trump, and I'll hang up and listen.
Okay.
Happy Tuesday.
All right, thank you, Al.
All right
then. Okay then. Hard to stay on topic with his little Rosa Parks tidbit of information. Trump has this ability to exploit the deprivation that Americans are feeling economically. So the country's changing in a bunch of different ways. It's changing politically. Our maps are changing, that's for sure. Demographics are changing. Our economy is changing. So this threat of artificial intelligence and technology and computers and computing and coding and programming is really shifting the American economy. And also, we are more we're a consumer economy. We're not a producer economy. America doesn't really make a lot of stuff. A lot of your appliances, a lot of your electronics, the things that you wear, right, our everyday purchases, a lot of that stuff is made overseas. Like, we don't produce those things. And a lot of those things are made overseas because labor is very cheap. Because we know that if you pay Americans, you got to pay them a healthy wage. You got to give them benefits. Or you can get a kid from Central America to work for 75 cents a day and a bowl of porridge. How come when we send food to third world countries, it's just like grits? Yeah, send them some steak. They don't even give vegetables. You ever notice that? Like, oh my gosh, UNICEF has sent 40 tons of food to Ethiopia, Somalia, the Sudan, and then they showed the kids just putting their hands in big bowls of grits, and then they show the kids, and the kids are very happy. They're smiling. They got grits all over their little grits and flies around, and they're so happy. Why don't you send them some Pop-Tarts? You know, it's our money that's buying the food that the nonprofit organizations, the Red Cross, the Blue Cross, all the different crosses, the organizations that send all the food to the poor babies, send them Send them some Moe's Steakhouse. Send them a porterhouse. You know what I mean? Like, don't just send them porridge. But so those people in third world countries, their labor is cheap. So we have things produced in other countries, and so we can sell them really cheap here in the United States of America. You guys remember a time when we used to wax nostalgic about all the jobs and all the opportunities right here in Milwaukee? You had all of the black people that would come from the South, from the Mississippis and the Tennessees and the Arkansas. I bet 90% of the African Americans that have been in Milwaukee for a generation or more have got parents, relatives, ancestors from one of those three states. 90% of us, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi. And they came up Highway 55, if you're weird, or Highway 57, which is the preferred way to travel from Mississippi to Wisconsin. If you're weird, you take Highway 55. If you're normal, you take 57. But everybody stops at Boomland. I know the white folks are baffled by this. Boomland is, ladies and gentlemen, how would you describe Boomland if you were familiar with that travel from Mississippi to Milwaukee? Or from Milwaukee to Mississippi to visit your relatives, because, that's what summer vacation was for us. You just went to Mississippi. But you stopped at Boomland. Boomland was like an oasis in the desert. Boomland had everything. Boomland was Walmart before Walmart plus fireworks. Boomland had a fireworks section that's the size of Fox Point, Wisconsin. You know about Boomland? I think I should just go to Boomland just to take a trip down there, not even to go to Mississippi, just to go to Boomland. So we would come from Mississippi and Arkansas and Tennessee for all these jobs here, manufacturing jobs and factory jobs, assembly line jobs here in Milwaukee, because after World War II, the world was not producing anything. Why? Because we bombed all of the production in Northern Africa, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, and all points east, including Japan. Japan was glowing in the dark, by the way, because we dropped 2 nukes on Japan. I always thought they should have dropped the nukes on Germany. Destroy Berlin, because that's where the Nazis were. And we really don't like the Nazis. We don't like the Japanese either, because they snuck up on us and they bombed Hawaii, but that's the closest they got to America. Hawaii is 3,000 miles off the coast. But we were really mad at the Japanese. Even though the Japanese did not come anywhere close to mainland America, we should have dropped the nukes on Germany. Why do we not drop the nukes on Germany? Because Europe is full of white people. You drop those nukes on people of color. Ain't that wild? However, I digress. So after World War II, we had to have the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe, because Europe was destroyed. We blew everything up in Europe. There was nothing left in London and in England, and the English people, you know them. Oh, no, we have nothing left. Oh, it's terrible over here. We don't have anything. We also have very bad teeth, and they blew everything up in the war. The Germans had the V-2 rockets, and they shot the rockets over the English Channel, and then boom, and that's what the English were saying. But everything was blown up. So if you wanted something made, created, and produced, anything, any consumer appliance, anything, textiles, your clothing, it was made in America. This is why war is good for the economy. If there is a nation that is producing things, they're making things and selling them to Americans, creating a trade deficit, we'll just bomb the production facilities and the supply routes of those foreign countries, and then America can make all of the things. It's a roundabout way of what Trump is trying to do with tariffs, but a miserable attempt at that. There was industry in the Midwest because we needed to produce, not just for Americans, but we needed to produce products for the whole world. And then something happened. Some of you are old enough to remember the economic recessions of the 1970s and the 1980s when the factories started closing and downsizing and laying off. And then all of a sudden, nobody was buying Honda motor cars. Nobody was buying Toyota motor cars. And then all of a sudden, especially with the fuel crisis, people started buying more fuel-efficient cars right at about the time some of the nuclear fallout was clearing from Japan, and the Japanese are like, we're going to start making cars, and we're going to make better cars, more fuel-efficient cars, more sporty cars than America. It just took Japan a while because they were glowing in the dark because we dropped nukes on them. And now most of you have or currently drive a Hyundai, a Kia, a Toyota, a Honda, a Subaru. When the rest of the world was rebuilt after World War II and they could produce products again, American factories were no longer needed. And we then became the consumers of goods made in countries that we once formerly destroyed. I'm not gonna lie about it. I drove 2 German cars. Actually 3. My Chrysler Crossfire was mostly a Mercedes SLK. I drove a Mercedes-Benz C-Class. I also had an Audi A6. I drove German cars. Where 2 generations ago, the only German car I ever could have driven was a Volkswagen Beetle. I don't like the Volkswagen Beetle. It's a stupid car. It's an ugly car. I don't like it. Some of you like the Volkswagen Beetle. I don't like the Volkswagen Beetle. It has a flower vase in the dashboard. Do you guys know that? Rick, did you know that a Volkswagen Beetle has a flower vase? Rick, you look like the type, you'd buy a Volkswagen Beetle and you put a flower in the flower vase. If I ever see you in a Volkswagen Beetle with a flower in the flower vase, Rick, I'll run you off the road with my electric car.
What's wrong with Volkswagen Beetles?
Everything.
It drives.
Why would you drive a Volkswagen Beetle?
I'm asking a question. Do it drive?
I don't know. I ain't never driven one.
It obviously drives because it's a car.
All right. Thanks, Rick, for that brilliant
insight.
insight.
Do it have good mileage on it?
I don't. What you asking me for?
Because I don't see what's wrong with a Volkswagen.
It's a stupid car.
Why is it a stupid car? Because of the way it looks?
Yes.
That's not a valid reason.
You don't name a car after a bug. That's stupid.
It's not. It's stupid in your opinion.
Name another car named after I guess there's spiders. But that's different. Whatever. Germany didn't really make a lot of cars. They made Nazi machines, and nobody wanted one. But then Germany got back online and started making. We will make the best cars in the entire world. We will make BMWs. We will make Mercedes-Benz. We will make Audis. Excuse me, Germany, how do you come up with your formula to make superior automobiles? And they slap you. We will ask the questions. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 101.7 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 101.7 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
It's 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Busy commute? Surf to Tsunami Express Car Wash. In just 3 minutes, your car will look fresh and ready to get back on the road. Tsunami Express makes cleanup a breeze with state-of-the-art tunnels, free vacuums, mat cleaners, and complimentary detailing supplies. Visit any of their 5 convenient locations in the greater Milwaukee area. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Get your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
Let's talk about the opportunity gap. What's that? It's the way that factors like race, language, economic status, and family situations contribute to lower rates of success in educational achievement, career prospects, and other life aspirations.
That's not fair.
For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible. With 4 K-4 through 8 nonprofit charter schools in central Milwaukee, plus a pre-K program, MCP has been removing unfair barriers for children since 1997. Donate today at mkeprep.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The world can be a lonely place when you're just a name without a face. You can disappear without a trace and be gone.
And I've been jamming like this.
A majority of Americans say the U.S. lost ground under President Biden under immigration, the economy, and federal debt, and a host of other issues, according to a new poll released today, less than a week before the president is set to depart the White House. Respondents in the new Gallup poll said the country had fallen behind on handling the federal debt, 67%, immigration, 64%, closing the gap between the wealthy and those less well off, 60%, the economy, 59%, the country's position in the world, 58%, and crime, 51%. Also keeping in mind, it is very difficult for a Democratic president to make any measurable improvements on any of those aforementioned issues when you have a Republican-controlled Congress. One of the things that the Republicans have done is they have perfected being the opposition party, to not work in the best interest of the American people, not to do that, to obstruct the Democrats. That is what they do. Republicans stopped making policy a long time ago. They shifted into survival mode because the demographics of this country are changing. And the typical demographic of someone who would vote for a Republican is also shrinking demographically. So what the Republicans have done is they've used economic issues to coax a few more African Americans and Latino males. They've always had white women. They've always had them. Look, not only... This is amazing pimping. It's the most pimping-ish pimping I've ever seen. And pimping is bad. Pimping is very terrible. You're not supposed to pimp, Rick. Pimping is naughty and it's, I guess, illegal. You're not supposed to do it. But they have white women still so sewed up that they can take away a fundamental reproductive health care privacy right away from women, in which white women would be affected more than anybody else, and they still wouldn't lose any white women. It's crazy, right? That's a strong pimp hand.
Pimping ain't easy, but somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to do it. Can I get an amen?
Amen. Church? Amen. Trump was running against a woman and said, whenever you're famous, you can do whatever you want. You can grab them by the ee-oo. When he said that, I was like, oh, he's about to lose. Could you imagine if Barack Obama would have said that? Look, when you're famous and you're black, you can just grab them by the ee-oo. I would have been mad at Obama for saying that. I'm like, dude, you don't say that in public.
He definitely would have set us back.
Totally. Because black people would have had a higher standard for Barack Obama's behavior than everybody had for Donald Trump. Trump just gets away with anything. That's crazy.
But see, it's kind of expected from Trump. So like when you hear Obama to say it with such, and you know he has such demeanor and such class, it's kind of like, dude, really?
I bet Obama, he talks dirty. He got a foul mouth. I bet he be talking freaky to Michelle. Ooh, come here. Yeah, get on that thing. Yeah, remember back in college? Remember when you used to make it flip and do tricks?
That is wild.
They're married.
It's funny though. Flips and do tricks is hilarious.
I bet Michelle Obama's a freak. She has to be. Come here. Bring it up. Bring that thing. Back that thing up. That dump truck over here. All that wagon you're dragging.
It's even more funny because you actually sound like Obama.
I do a very good Obama. I've had many years to perfect it. Come here, girl. Don't. You know Obama, he stutters sometimes. Don't make me chase you. I'll chase that ass. Chase that ass around the White House. I can see Michelle Obama, right, just wearing like a bralette, some ankle socks with a rose in her mouth, getting chased by Barack Obama wearing some boxer shorts and some church socks. Come here. Where do you think you're going? I'm the president. Come here. I'm going to get canceled. Don't make me laugh, Rick. I got to do a radio show. The survey also showed that pluralities of Americans think the country has been trailing other nations in education at 46%, terrorism 42%, trade relations with other countries 44%, national defense and the military at 40%, and healthcare. So if the Republicans don't make policy because they are a party that needs to protect what they think is the rightful caretakers of this country, old white men, then they're not going to make policy. They're going to obstruct the Democrats. The Democrats, for all of their faults and failures, they are a political party that tries to encompass this new demographic direction that the country is going in. And for all intents and purposes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a good thing. We want a political party that can seek to speak to the diversity that this nation is. Because at the end of the day, diversity is good. When you have different types of people, then you have different and unique ways to solve our nation's problems. Diversity is good for that. But for some reason, we infuse the competitive nature of capitalism in with our diversity. So we don't want people that look different or speak a different language to win in this nation. Hopefully we get to a point, and I'm not sure if it's going to be under the guise of the leadership of the Democrats, that we want everybody in this country to win so we can beat countries like China. And who else don't like us? The Saudi Arabian, Middle Eastern, Hamas people probably don't like us either. We need to all be together, work together with a cohesive federal government that's still bicameral and bipartisan, but working in the best interest of the American people so we can go kick people's asses out in the world again. So you know what America needs? We need our own TikTok where we can exploit the Chinese and we can show Chinese girls twerking. You know, they don't even show that stuff in the Chinese version of TikTok. They don't have any things that is exploitative to women, that speaks negatively about the Chinese government. We need to create an app and then make that app available for our enemies so we can divide them. On the flip side, 39% of Americans said the country has made progress on the situation for, the blacks aren't going to like this. Oh, you blacks are going to hate this next thing. Here we go. On the flip side, 39% of Americans said the country has made progress on the situation for gay, lesbian, and transgender people. A larger figure than those who said it stood still at 31% or seen a regression at 23%, according to the survey. I know a lot of blacks don't like when the gays and the lesbians and the transgenders make progress because we, for some reason, think that takes away from our progress. No, it doesn't. Let the gays live their best gay, transgender, bisexual life. Most people are bi anyway. Either bisexual or bipolar. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King described a true education as one successfully combining intelligence and character. Concordia University prepares learners for meaningful lives of leadership and service to meet all of life's callings. They offer world-class programs online and face-to-face in a faith-based, student-focused environment. Classes are small, opportunities endless. Visit cuw.edu to learn more. 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris is at the MLK Prayer Breakfast event at Concordia. This is an invitation-only event. We invite you to listen to the event live on The Truth Saturday, January 20th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. This brunch at Concordia University, hosted by Walter Goodwin, the director of the Office of Multicultural Engagement, and is a gathering honoring Dr. Martin Luther King, a time of reflection and prayer, Saturday, January 20th. The theme this year, it is written based on the scripture in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future."
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
For general contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Democrats and Democrat-leaning independents have said the country has made progress during Biden's 4-year term on 14 of the 18 issues, including trade relations, infrastructure, the economy, national defense, and the military, the U.S. position in the world, climate change, health care, and education, according to the poll. Democrats said the U.S. has lost some ground on closing the gap between the wealthy and those who are less well off, and on federal debt. The majority of Democrats at 63% think the nation has stood still on taxes. Some people may think it's advantageous to the rest of us to have very, very wealthy people at the highest ranks in the federal government, because for some reason, people, middle-class people, working-class people, poor people, think that they're all billionaires too. They just haven't gotten their billion yet. Don't we all see ourselves as disaffected millionaires? Like, oh, we're going to be millionaires one day. We're just not there yet. So why not let people that have that kind of experience with money lead the country, because then they are going to help us. Ladies and gentlemen, you are very much misguided if you believe that. The only thing that prevents the kind of corruption and greed that kind of wealth breeds is the government. The only thing that stops the ultra powerful and extremely wealthy from taking everything, creating everything in their interest and colonizing the world is the government. It was our only fail-safe against a very small number of very powerful people. The last thing you want are tyrants controlling the government, because the government is supposed to control the tyrants, because the government is of the people, by the people, and for the people. Most of you are not billionaires. You're not. I'm sorry to have to break that news to you. I know when you look in the mirror, you do see a disaffected billionaire, but you are not a billionaire. The government needs to be our stopgap, our fail-safe between those very wealthy people that don't know any boundaries. They just buy everything. They purchase everything. They don't like to pay taxes. They don't like any kind of regulations. They'll pollute the air. They'll pollute the water. They don't care. They'll dig up our natural wildlife lands and kill all the geese. They'll kill the polar bears. They make polar bear shoes because they don't care. They're rich. They'll just hit a polar bear in the face. They'll kill penguins. They don't care. They're rich. I'll get some penguin mittens, or Balenciaga will come out with a penguin scarf, and rich people will buy. They don't care. I don't care about the penguins. I'll make a penguin face mask out of penguin. We are better off as a people when we have a cohesive federal government that can protect us from the oligarchs, that can protect us from having these monopolies. When there is a monopoly, ladies and gentlemen, when one multinational company buys everything, there's a flow chart. And I'm trying to give you the correct terminology to Google so you can see this flow chart. The corporations that control consumer food products in America, that might be a good search string. The company or companies that control food production and food distribution, like granola bars and breakfast cereals and sports drinks and bottled water, it's like 4 or 5 companies that control 75 to 80% of all the food that we buy. That's bad for competition. If I make, what's a good product to make? I make pancake mix. Sherwin, Uncle Jemima, Uncle Sherwin's pancake mix. And in my pancake mix, I have a little baking powder, a little sugar, a little salt, and a little flour. Uncle Sherwin's pancake mix, and it's got a picture of me on the box. Imagine this Uncle Sherwin's pancake mix. I made the most delicious pancakes, the fluffiest pancakes, the butcheriest pancakes you've ever tasted. Uncle Sherwin's pancake mix. And it's me on the cover looking like a slave. Because that's what people want in their pancake mix. You want your food to be made by a slave, which is really weird. That whole Aunt Jemima thing, when they changed. Remember when they gave Aunt Jemima a makeover? They took her bandana off her head. They gave her a job in HR. They gave her hair a perm. And then when y'all saw Aunt Jemima making progress in the world, y'all didn't want to buy the pancakes no more. And then they got rid of Aunt Jemima altogether. America's so screwed up. I even heard black people angry that the image of Aunt Jemima changed, because I guess there's something comforting about us having our food prepared by a fat black mammy. So weird. So I got Uncle Sherwin's pancake mix, and I would do it the right way. It'd be a picture of me looking like a slave, just tired, clothes torn, beads of sweat forming on my brow. I got a pancake mix. Well, if I have to use flour in my pancake mix, and I make enough money with my Uncle Sherwin's pancake mix, I'll buy the land that grows the wheat that makes my flour. Now I can control the flour industry. And there's a little bit of sugar that's in my pancake mix. Now I can buy the farms and the plantations that produce the sugar cane, and I can hire the workers and fire the workers and have my sugar cane plantations pay workers 75 cents an hour, and I can have these monopolies. And then I have enough money because I can control the flour and the wheat. I can control the sugar cane and the sugar. And then I can go and buy the syrup company. Do you see how that works? And then ultimately you're buying everything from me. And then I expand into other areas. I buy a bunch of McDonald's franchises, and with that money I buy a bunch of Burger Kings and Taco Bells, and eventually all of your food is purchased from me, and I can raise the prices whenever I want to. And this is what you were seeing with corporate price gouging that the Republicans expertly called inflation. A handful of companies just said, screw you, Americans. Why do you guys think that companies and multinational corporations that are headed up by billionaire CEOs have any obligation to save you money? They want you broke. Because if you have money, you might invest it. If you have money, you might contribute some of your money to political candidates that would push back on these oligarchs and these billionaires. They want us broke. There's no mode or motivation to raise minimum wage. Even if they did raise minimum wage, don't get your hopes up. It'll only go up to $10 an hour. And even that would be phased in after 5 years. They want us broke. These companies don't want us to have money or to save money. They don't care about that. They want all of our money. And the last thing you want are those kinds of people with that kind of sentiment to be in the highest levels of the federal government and appointing cabinet secretaries and being the head of the U.S. Treasury. The last thing that we can want. There's no benefit that's going to come to the American people. You're already starting to see some infighting, especially over immigrants. Elon Musk basically said, and to some extent I agree with him, Americans are too stupid. We need HB1 visas or H1B visas so we can get smart people from other countries that actually take public education seriously so they can come over here and be the engineers and the software engineers, et cetera, et cetera. I believe him. Look at your NPS test scores and you tell me how many of these 68, 69,000 kids are going to have the academic foundation to be the world's leading software developers and engineers. Very, very few. We should have 30 or 40% of our public school graduates here leading the nation in a variety of different technical fields that the world is going to require into the future. Some of these kids can't read. So I agree with Elon Musk. You got to have people coming over here from other countries that are way smarter than Americans. The reason why we have shortages, especially shortages of doctors, which is a real problem because Americans are living longer. So health technology is actually helping improve Americans' lifespans, but increasingly, you're going to have a doctor that don't speak no English. A friend of mine, doctor, a general practitioner, Caucasian, biggest complaint. She has a lot of older patients, right? And a lot of people in the practice that she works for are Indian. And you got to keep in mind, American, English is not an easy language to speak. Speak English, speak American, whatever, same thing. For someone to know medicine and know medicine in 2 languages, let alone an Indian dialect, and also know English, like that in and of itself is a monumental amount of intelligence. But the biggest complaint she hears is from her patients. And some of the patients, they're black, they're white, they're Latino, they're Asian. They don't want a non-native English-speaking doctor. And I totally get it. Because if someone is trying to explain to you your health and their accent is thick and you don't know what they're talking about, I can see that being a problem. Now, I'm not going to impart to you the way she described to me how some of these older patients are so racist against these Indian doctors. Because, you know, old people, once they get to a certain age, they give no Fs about anything. They don't care about hurting your feelings at all. They are just the most, because they lived their lives already, you know? And so they're not trying to be politically correct. Somebody's 87 years old is not going to use the correct racial and ethnic terminology. Like, I don't want you. You're an Indian doctor. Give me a real doctor. Like, they say stuff like that. You're not a real doctor. And the doctor be, oh, yes, I'm very real. Is that racist if I do that? Oh, no. And so my friend gets a disproportionate number of patients because she's an American that speaks American English. But we're going to be facing more and more of this, and so we do need immigration to an extent, because I'm just going to be honest with you, American kids are failing miserably. We're not in the top 10 in public education. In fact, we're not even in the top 20 in the world. So there's 20-plus countries, probably 25 or 26 countries that perform better than American kids on like basic math, reading comprehension. And that's sad, and it does not bode well for the future. But here's the thing about Trump world. Steve Bannon hates all immigrants. Elon Musk is an immigrant. Vivek Ramaswamy is an immigrant. In fact, Vivek Ramaswamy should be deported. If Donald Trump gets rid of birthright citizenship, then Vivek Ramaswamy should get deported too, because his parents were not American citizens. So Trump world eventually is going to implode on itself, and it's going to be a glorious thing to watch. But unfortunately, it's still going to have so much disproportionate control over the federal government that regular, average, everyday Americans are going to suffer, even when the glorious day of Trump world exploding ultimately comes to fruition. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
101.7 The Truth is now the proud home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. Tune in every week so you don't miss out on the classic rivalry game we all love, the high-flying dunks that leave us in awe, and the memorable moments where Milwaukee basketball legends are born. City Conference basketball on 101.7 The Truth is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
People will tell you that race is a social construct and that there's no biological reality that distinguishes between a white individual and a black individual. So what does that mean if there are these quote-unquote disparities, right? It means that the way we move through a society is markedly different, right? And that the experience that we have has biological consequences. Is when you're in a society where people are constantly discriminating against a certain group, denying access, don't have control over the institutions that govern our lives. All of those things create a biological reality and a response, whether it's a stress hormone or a fear or something that could be passed on, what we call epigenetics, which means what my mother or my grandmother experienced had an effect on what formed me in my responses to those stressors. That's how we can be two individual people with very little difference, but have totally, vastly different experiences as we move through our reproductive health.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Did you know the gap between black and white students in Milwaukee continues to expand and is among the worst in the nation?
Or that the overall learning gap in Milwaukee is nearly twice that of the national average for black students?
Milwaukee, you can do better.
But in charter schools like Milwaukee College Prep, black and Hispanic students have stronger growth than kids at traditional public schools.
That's some really good news.
For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible. Give the education all kids deserve. Donate today at mkeprep.com.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In hour 3, I'm going to give you guys the details of the Jack Smith report that is not going to have a lot of consequences, really no consequences for Donald Trump, because Trump got reelected and the Republicans are not going to do anything with the report. So the things that are in the report, so this is going to share with the American people the details of Trump's involvement in January 6th, and it's way more than even I imagine. It would be enough to get him impeached. Mark my words. Midterm elections of 2026, the Democrats will get control of one or both chambers of Congress. So the Democrats will control the House of Representatives and or the U.S. Senate. They're going to start impeaching Trump right away. And they may use this Jack Smith report as a grounds for their next impeachment. They're just going to keep impeaching, dude, because they have to. The impeachment, and I don't know if Americans really grasp what it is. When a president commits high crimes and misdemeanors, you have to note it in history. You cannot let an American president commit high crimes and misdemeanors and not have it be noted, because this is what we are supposed to be watching out for. We have so drastically lowered our standards for president. And I shudder to think it's because some Americans internalized the election of Barack Obama and were just like, okay, well, if a black dude can win not one term, but 2 terms, we can get a fake billionaire being blackmailed by Russia that grabs women by the hoo-ha, that has a number of sexual assault, sexual harassment cases against him, and elect him president. Isn't that crazy? A shining example of a man, not just an African-American man, led this country out of the doldrums, out of a very, very dark place, out of 2 wars, a housing foreclosure crisis, an economy that was losing millions of jobs every single month, and brought us back to prosperity. And then the flip side of that is like, well, hell, we can elect Trump. That's so wild to me. Like, that is going to be a story that is going to ring throughout the ages. When history reflects back, and then they create art. They create movies and documentaries about this particular era of American history, which we are still living through. They're going to look at us like we were insane. Because people in the future are going to be much more clear-headed. We're going through it right now. We're trying to figure out how we're going to survive, what tomorrow's going to look like. You know, people are worried about their money and their earnings and their retirement funds. We're worried about all of that stuff. We're not looking at the 10,000-foot view. History allows you to look at the 10,000-foot view. So 30, 40, 50, 100 years from now, assuming we're all still here, they're going to look back and they're going to say, so wait a minute. In 2008, they elected this dude who historically would have been a slave in America, and America turns the corner, sees the merits of this man. They appreciate him. They love the way he communicates and the way he talks about policy, and he wants to implement a health care plan because Americans are sick. And you elect him, and then you reelect him in 2012. And then you try a woman, and a woman who had a political resume better than any other, and she loses to a dude that shouldn't be anywhere near a government office, because all Trump has ever done has sued governments. So that we went from a qualified woman candidate, say whatever you want about Hillary Clinton, she was more qualified than Trump to be president. Knowing who Trump was going to put on the Supreme Court, knowing who Trump was going to put on the federal bench and the federal appellate courts, he gets elected. America said, we don't like you, 1 term and you're done. Then that president, who never should have been elected, said the election results were fake, never concedes the election, says the election was rigged the entire time, criminal cases start mounting. That same man tries to get the governor in Georgia to overturn the election, looking for 11,780 votes, goes on and on, creates these conspiracy theories that the election was fake, and then we re-elect him again. They're going to ask us, what kind of drugs were we on? And you know what we're going to say? Well, we legalized a bunch of weed. That's what it was. You know, the states are starting to regret they're legalizing marijuana now, and maybe rightfully so. Maybe everybody is just high. High as a giraffe's vagina. That's way up there. It's not easy. You can't really sexually assault a giraffe unless you're really tall. You need a ladder if you want to hump a giraffe. Just saying, guys, this doesn't make any sense to me. I got TikTok. Did I finish my TikTok stuff? The House of Representatives last week delivered a clear ultimatum to Chinese technology giant ByteDance: sell TikTok to American owners or see it removed from U.S. app stores. This bold bipartisan move signals a new chapter in the intensifying standoff between Washington and Beijing, with lawmakers aiming to protect U.S. national security while fostering technological innovation. So what's going to happen is if ByteDance does surrender to U.S. authorities, they're trying to get Elon Musk to buy it. The price tag right now stands at $40 billion to buy the TikTok platform to where it can be in American hands. But the algorithm is not included, and the algorithm is what makes TikTok so dangerous. I'm going to take a break, come back, and in hour 3, we're going to talk about Jack Smith's report. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your girl, DT, and I am back. Join Dr. Ken Harris and I every Monday night for our weekly show, The Truth Unfiltered. We're going to break down the top news stories of the week with no filters and no apologies. We're going to tell you just exactly how it TI is, which is the only way that Dr. Ken and I know how to roll. So be sure to tune in to The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken every Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was a song that myself and Common wrote. 2 brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 101.7 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We appreciate you guys spending your time with us here on 101.7 The Truth. We know there's a whole bunch of other things you could be doing and probably should be doing. But we love the fact that you were spending at least part of your day with us here on 101.7 The Truth. I want to get to the Jack Smith report, which I didn't really get to last hour, but I also want to read some of your text messages. So how's the sound? We've been getting some complaints about the sound. And how are you guys listening? Was the sound bad over the air via 101.7 FM on the radio? Was it bad via the app? I know we had to restart our YouTube stream, so I'm hoping that the sound is better. Right around 10:30, people were having some complaints about the sound. And I'm a stickler for how this sounds, because I know that we are providing a listening experience to those of you that are tuned in, which is sometimes difficult because it's just me in a room by myself looking through a piece of glass at Ricky. And usually I'm just involved in the conversation at hand, and whatever topic I'm tackling, I'm not always aware of the listening experience of those who are tuned in. However, I do hope you guys enjoyed my impression of Barack Obama running around the White House wearing some boxer shorts and some black church socks, chasing Michelle Obama. Yeah,
I had a good laugh.
I'm sure you did. Because all Michelle was wearing was a bralette and some ankle socks with a rose in her mouth.
Do it again.
No, I think that that's very disrespectful to the former First Lady and the President.
There we go. No, it's disrespectful.
No, it is disrespectful for me to say, hey, come here, Michelle. Bring that thing over here. That dump truck. I'll chase you. Let me take off my trousers.
That meat wagon.
Meat wagon. Good Lord, Rick. Just chasing her down the hallway.
That is funny.
Secret Service just, I don't know what to do. The president's chasing Michelle again. She got that big fat keister on her. You know how white folks, they call it a keister. Look at that keister on her. Look at that. I tell you what. Oh, one day, buddy. Hey, Chuck, come over here, Chuck. Look at Michelle Obama's junk in her trunk.
Do you know how thick you got to be to have a meat wagon or a dump truck?
She's not that thick. She's actually very much in shape.
But the emphasis because on how big, or it's just the words, the length of the words, the density of the words to describe a thick woman, dump truck, and meat wagon.
Those are offensive terms. I wouldn't. That almost sounds like somebody has a BBL. Can y'all leave BBLs in 2024, please? Y'all know that Kim Kardashian took her BBL out? Some are way too extreme. BBLs, the only men that are attracted to BBLs are poor. Oh, that's fact. Look that up. That is a poor man's, he's attracted to that body style.
Accusations!
That's not an accusation. That's the truth. Man, oh man, do I want to tell you all the story. Oh, I can't tell it. I can't tell too much of my personal life, and it's not like anything sexual. It's just I don't want this person to be listening. I've never dated or been at all involved with a BB. I heard it's not soft. That's grotesque. The best part about a woman is the softness.
It feels like a rock. It hurts. Especially when she's on top. It hurts.
Rick!
Sorry. Turn her off my mic now.
No, nobody want to hear about your humping behavior. Oh, man. That's just uncomfortable to think about. I have a story. I'm scared to read it, though, because I know how some of y'all are going to react. The 12 Reasons Why Women Cheat. And guess who published the story? Bride Magazine. A magazine dedicated to helping women plan and envision their weddings, published a story on the 12 reasons why women cheat. If any man ever picked up a copy of Bride Magazine, you wouldn't want to get married because they spell out in detail 12 reasons why women cheat. Like, that's a lot of reasons. That's a dozen reasons. That's as many reasons as there are eggs in a carton. That is... No, thank you, ladies. You cheaters. I posted something in the Hughes Views Facebook group. That's the Facebook group that corresponds with this show. Go ahead and join it. I asked if people had been unfaithful, if they would be willing to admit being unfaithful to their romantic partners. Crickets from the ladies. I think one person or a couple of women may have admitted or chimed in. Paige called in yesterday. She said she cheated on her partner before. She did so for revenge. And that's one of the 12 reasons listed in the article by Bride Magazine why women cheat. That's so stupid to revenge cheat. Dummy. You're going to add a body to your count to get revenge on him. That makes you look like a whore.
Dumb.
You know what I mean? Like, duh. How you going to use your body to get back at me? It's your body. You nincompoop. Okay, let's talk to, my favorite nincompoop. Hello, Bob.
Hello, Sherwin. I have to go way back when you said the government is the reason, we can keep the world right. And you are half right. Capitalism without guardrails is why we have failed into negative and not moving ahead like we should. See, I bet you even basketball players and football players vote Republican because they want to get some of their money back. Capitalism, money, everybody's after money. See, if we was to form a black football team and a black basketball team, now, it would a person only made $100,000 instead of $3 million, and he sacrificed that. Then we would be heading in the right direction. But capitalism, they going after that money like everybody, and that's the major reason to me. And somebody goes to jail, they did the same thing, but because they got money, the other person got money, he don't even go to jail. It's capitalism. And I want to say this other thing, if you don't mind. There's two reasons why Trump got elected to me. And it's because she's black and she's a woman. And, we are in that era, whether we like it or not. We're in that era, so, we have to deal with it. The worst thing that Trump has done to me is not January 6th. It was bad. But the fact, COVID-19, and he made light of it, and thousands died, and he was just worried about the economy. What kind of conscience does that man have? And to get back to you, my last point, I'm going to have to call town for this woman because you're still saying ain't on the radio. The woman asked you not to say ain't. You know what I mean? And then Linda can run for whatever office, and you're still discouraging her not to run. So I'm going to get these. I hope town call you.
How about this? How about I ain't taking your call no more, old man? Oh, one-armed bandit? Tell me what vernacular I can and cannot use on my radio show. Unbelievable. Don't tell me that. If I'm using the word ain't. I ain't talking to you no more, Buster. What's wrong with you? All right, let me read some of these comments. Sandra says to Sherwin, I sent you those T-shirts. That was part of the fight that got eliminated pretty much. Sandra, I never received any T-shirts. Where did you send them to? Don't send stuff here. I'm going to have to tell y'all to stop because they be opening my mail here. I don't even get my mail here, I don't think. So if you want me to get something, don't send it here. Send it somewhere else. Don't. I never got those T-shirts. They're nice T-shirts, Sandra. One of them says Chinese takeout doesn't mean our jobs. I got Chinese food last night, and I feel like I'm poisoned. Must be the MSG in it, but something ain't feeling right. What else? Organize, organize, organize. And it's got 3 characters with their fists in the air. That's a red T-shirt. Nice looking T-shirt. But Sandra, where did you send these to? I don't like that when y'all send me stuff and I don't get it. Somebody probably walking around in my T-shirts. Oh, you wanted... Okay, Sandra says, I sent 2 pictures of 2 T-shirts. I got the pictures. I wanted Sherwin to get them. Oh, wait a minute. So you just sent me the pictures of the T-shirt, not the actual shirt. All right, Martin says... The sound is good. The powers that be in Milwaukee are hacking the station. No, they're not. Sometimes stuff gets messed up. What else we got here? LT says a lot. LT, shouldn't you be making pizzas? Wayne says, Sherwin, what I can't understand is the lack of urgency the Democrats have around the midterms and the 2028 election. At some point, over the next 3 years, Donald Trump will be a lame duck. He's already a lame duck. And the impact of his voice will be marginalized significantly, right? So it's not an overnight thing. So the Democrats are caught between what do you take from the 2024 presidential campaign that can be useful in 2026 and beyond, and then who the new people are going to be and how their personalities fit with the direction the Democrats need to go in. So there's the policy direction. There's also the punch Trump in his nuts direction, too. And so they need to find the right people. That's why they're looking for a new chair of the Democratic National Committee. I am reporting to you that the next chair of the Democratic National Committee is going to be a white man because we tried with African Americans. We tried with women. Not doing that anymore. So now we're going to go with a white fella. Maybe that helps. But it's not overnight because we don't know what Trump is going to do and the kind of damage he's going to do. And a disproportionate amount of the Democrats' energy politically is going to be reversing what Trump put in, or whatever his policies and executive orders are. And you need people that are going to be able to convince sometimes voters, what we call drop-off voters, to come back and vote for Democrats. That's not an overnight thing. And even when they come up with a formula, they're not going to share it right away. There's going to be a rollout. They're going to roll out what the next agenda is. And Trump has not yet taken office, so the Democrats can't put the cart ahead of the horse because right now they don't even know what to plan for because we don't know what Trump is going to do. Let's talk to... Oh, hi, Paige. You're calling us back for a second time in 2 days.
That's right. Good morning, Sherwin. So it must have been meant to be because I had just gotten into the car when I heard your comment about body count. Well, I have you know that I don't. Are you speaking?
I just said, uh-oh.
Okay. So yes, I don't consider body counts because I'm a grown-ass woman. And I can be with whomever I want to when I choose to. And I made it clear that the reason that I did that was because neither one of us wanted to end the relationship, but we didn't want to be honest about it either. And so it was just a comfort to me to take my mind off of what he was doing by entertaining myself with someone else.
Did it make you feel better, Paige? Did you feel vindicated? Did you feel like you got him when you laid down with that other man? And here's the thing. You're a grown-ass woman. You're right. You can do whatever you want. And your body count, that is entirely up to you. You can do, and I want you to do whatever you want and whoever you want. However, a man does not have to accept your body count. But the man don't matter, right? Because you get to do whatever you want to do. You could sleep with everybody in Georgia if you wanted to, because that's you.
People lie about body count, so that's why that doesn't count.
Yes,
and I just mean that, like I said, it wasn't about feeling better because it didn't make me feel better. It made me feel worse about myself because that's not who I am, and that's not what I had planned to put into a relationship. However, that's where I found myself, and I did find it a comfort to basically, like I said, it was a distraction. Basically, it was just a distraction.
Understood.
And yeah.
I don't want you to think that you had to call back and explain this stuff. So here's the question I have. So when that transpired, when you did your revenge cheat, I'm assuming you were probably like 18, 19. You did that as a young gal, correct?
No, I was in my 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking? Or what decade? Are you in your 40s? Your 50s?
In my 50s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, so it wasn't the point that you said that about me, me having a body count and whatnot. It was the fact that you called me stupid for choosing to take that route. I don't think it's stupid.
When you look back on a page with all things being considered and the wisdom and maturity you have right now, when you look back on cheating on a man that you ultimately didn't end up with anyway, but cheating on him to get revenge on him, that was not one of your finer moments in life. Can we agree on that? Because we've all done stupid stuff. The problem is we don't want to admit that sometimes we do stupid stuff. Can we admit that that was something that you wouldn't do again?
I can admit that it was a stupid thing to do.
There you go.
That doesn't make me stupid.
Well, stupid is and stupid does. I'm stupid too, Paige. I've done dumb stuff too now. I'll be the first one to call myself stupid.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
Hey!
But, I'm just...
Over here laughing.
I'm done. I just wanted to say that.
All right, Paige. Well, call us back tomorrow and talk about who else you're humping. Let's talk to Sandra. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I am fine. How are you today?
Good. Did you send me pictures of a T-shirt, or did you actually send me a T-shirt?
No, I just sent the pictures.
Oh, I thought you actually sent me them T-shirts.
You probably can't fit them. They're mine. I had them when we were fighting the fight. That's why I sent them, because you were talking about, the jobs and the outsourcing and all that stuff. And so we were fighting. We were marching, because I was working at the time, and we had a union, and we marched. And especially at the time, they started sending the jobs to foreign countries. Even the people were breaking out windows to the cars. You spoke about the cars, foreign cars. They were breaking the windows out. They were fighting back, but I guess eventually it stopped, and they started getting rid of unions. I know I worked for Rockwell. So
who was breaking windows out of cars?
People in different areas, in Michigan, everything. I didn't see them here, but I know Michigan was doing it. About the foreign cars coming in.
This must have been a long time ago. This was not recently.
No, it wasn't recently, because the foreign cars have been around for a while now. Just like you just said, we got foreign cars. You see a lot of us driving foreign cars. We accepted it. And so, no, I just thought I'd send that to you, because we did try to fight. We tried to fight as a union, and I see they're breaking unions up. They know the power of a union, so they're breaking all of that stuff up. So now you got like a rogue administration coming in now. And I already know what he's going to do, because he told us what he was going to do. So if he don't have any checks and balances, he'll get away with it. Because they set all that stuff up. That's been set up for years. They knew where they were going with it. And I was going to say one more thing about Boomland. We stopped at Boomland all the time.
Got to go.
Because we go south a lot. Yes, we did.
No, you got to go to Boomland. That's necessary.
Oh, you said you got to.
Oh,
okay, yeah. They got restaurants, cheap gas. You can fill up there and keep running. Go into where you want to go. And I did have one more thing I want to say. I don't want to keep you too long. So what about this? Is this supposed to be a new world order or a one world order?
I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to delve that deep into conspiracy theories, because there's too many other countries that do not want to participate with this particular collection of nations, with Russia coming together with North Korea and the United States and other oligarchs and Hungary and Venezuela. I don't necessarily call it a new world order. It's just a bunch of jerks coming together to want to try and consolidate power. There will be World War III before there's any kind of new world order. So let's not go that far. And plus, Donald Trump is not one that can successfully bring the United States into the new world order, because his political understandings and his understandings of history is just too weak. So let's not worry about that yet. But I got to go, Sandra. I got to take a break.
Okay, then. All right, I just want to mention that. Okay, thanks.
Okay, then.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a nice day, Sandra. I got to talk about the Jack Smith report before I run out of show. Talk about that next. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Truth Nation! Join us for the 41st annual Martin Luther King Jr. birthday celebration at the Marcus Performing Arts Center on Monday, January 20th, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This Milwaukee tradition honors MLK's legacy through inspiring speeches by talented students, from first graders to high school seniors. Let's celebrate MLK's birthday and the future leaders of tomorrow together, under one roof at the Marcus Performing Arts Center Monday, January 20th. Let's celebrate. No justice, no peace.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl Noni Juice from my friends at Steinhafels. Right now at Steinhafels, get a new Tempur-Pedic mattress and save up to $300. Discover the advanced pressure-relieving power of a Tempur-Pedic, making aches and pains a thing of the past. Upgrade your sleep with an adjustable base and save up to $500. Use Steinhafels 60-month financing and get a queen Tempur-Pedic mattress for just $48 per month. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Shop in-store or online at Steinhafels.com.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
Do you need CPR or first aid certification? A&E CPR has got you covered. With over 15 years in the health and wellness industry, A&E CPR is a trusted American Red Cross training provider right here in Milwaukee. Whether it's CPR, first aid, or AED training, A&E CPR classes give you the skills and confidence you need to respond to life-threatening emergencies. They offer online courses and in-person classes. You can even receive your certification the same day you complete the class. So visit ANECPR.com to get certified today. That's ANECPR.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Newsweek sought an email comment from Donald Trump's attorney today. An email was not returned. A special report as a special counselor. Jack Smith delved into Donald Trump's alleged attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election result. That report has now been released despite efforts by Trump's lawyers to keep it suppressed. The report contains fresh revelations about the lengths Trump was willing to go to, allegedly to overthrow Joe Biden's win in 2020 and to circumnavigate the democratic wish of the American people. The report includes some shocking allegations against Trump, including attempts to keep Vice President Mike Pence mentally isolated. The report claims that Trump tried to keep Vice President Mike Pence isolated from everyone else so that Trump alone could work on him psychologically. That's crazy. Donald Trump was doing psyops on his own vice president. The report claims that Trump then began berating Pence, that hundreds of thousands of people would, quote, hate his guts unless he refused to certify Biden's win in the presidential election. This is because the vice president is automatically president of the Senate, and Pence had the task on January 6th, 2021, of officially confirming the results of the presidential election. Mr. Trump wanted no one else speaking with Vice President Pence because he and co-conspirators were already implementing a secret plan to use Mr. Pence's ministerial role as president of the Senate to Mr. Trump's advantage, the report states. In the weeks before the certification, Mr. Trump began pressuring Mr. Pence to cooperate both directly and by mobilizing Mr. Trump's supporters. In repeated conversations day after day, Mr. Trump pressed Mr. Pence to use his ministerial position as president of the Senate to change the election outcome, often by citing false claims of election fraud as justification. He even falsely told Mr. Pence that the Justice Department was finding major infractions. Mr. Trump told him that hundreds of thousands of people would think Pence was stupid, and Trump complained that Mr. Pence was too honest. Secret communications with Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark. In total violation of Justice Department rules, Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark allegedly engaged in secret communication with Trump about how to undermine the election result. As a reward, Trump allegedly threatened to fire the Justice Department chief and replace him with Clark, who is identified in the report as co-conspirator number 4. Newsweek sought email comments from Clark's attorney on Tuesday. The report states that in one post-election discussion, when the acting attorney general advised Mr. Trump that the Justice Department could not just, quote, snap its fingers and change the election outcome, Trump told the acting attorney general and acting deputy attorney general that they should just say that the election was corrupt and leave the rest to me and the Republican members of Congress, the report states. In the same call, alluding to replacing Justice Department leadership if they did not do as Trump directed, Mr. Trump also said, quote, people tell me Jeffrey Clark is great and I should put him in. The report claims that Trump had been secretly engaging with Clark, who was, quote, communicating with Mr. Trump in contravention of policies that were designed to protect the independence of the Justice Department. Racist threats to Judge Tanya Chutkan. After Trump was indicted for election fraud in Judge Tanya Chutkan's court in Washington, D.C., Trump made, quote, threatening public statements about those involved in the case, the report states. Chutkan, who is black, received racist threats after his comments, the report says. Quote, the day after his arraignment, for example, Mr. Trump posted on social media application Truth Social, if you go after me, I'm coming after you. That was all in capital letters. The next day, one of Trump's supporters called Judge Chutkan's office and said, hey, you stupid slave nigger. If Trump doesn't get elected in 2024, we are coming to kill you, so tread lightly, BITCH. You will be targeted personally, publicly, your family, all of it, the threat said. Trump's control over the January 6th rioters. During the attack on the Capitol January 6, 2021, Mr. Trump's supporters continued to heed his words, the report says. Video evidence from that afternoon shows rioters in real time crediting Mr. Trump for their presence and conduct at the U.S. Capitol. For example, as the crowd sought to push past officers protecting the Capitol's east front, one rioter shouted, we were invited here. We were invited here by the President of the United States. Inside, another rioter yelled at officers to stand down. You're outnumbered. There's an effing million of us out here, and we're listening to Trump, your boss. As the day wore on, rioters continued to obey Mr. Trump's commands. At 4:25 p.m., just 8 minutes after Mr. Trump's video tweet telling supporters that they were very special but that they should go home now, rioter Edward Vallejo, a member of the Oath Keepers, posted to a group signal chat that our commander-in-chief has just ordered us to go home, the report states. Trump's educated woman problem. Trump allegedly tried to lean on Michigan Republicans to certify that he won the state in 2020, which he did not. However, one prominent legislator told Trump face-to-face that he lost the election because of a lack of support from educated women, not because of the Democratic Party election rigging. The report states, quote, Mr. Trump also pressed state legislators in Michigan by inviting them to the White House on November 20th, raising false claims of election fraud and bringing co-conspirator Rudy Giuliani into the meeting by phone. Michigan Senate Majority Leader told Mr. Trump that he had lost the election not because of fraud, but because he had underperformed with educated females, an assessment that really displeased Mr. Trump, the report states. We're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He has inspired generations of change leaders, and many more are to come. Let's celebrate his legacy by enjoying incredible speeches by Milwaukee Public Schools students.
When I say ready to listen, you say ready to learn. Ready to listen? Okay, I see that you're ready. Question: what does it mean to work towards a world of peace? Does it mean to just sit around and do nothing, looking off in La La Land? Or does it mean to stay quiet on things that matter the most? Or does it mean to be determined, to persevere, and be a great leader to change the world for the betterment of everyone? I think that's the definition. Dr. King stated that no work is insignificant. All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence. Whatever your life's work is, do it well. So therefore, I, Kingston Pearson, will be working towards a world of peace, and I plan on doing it well. In order to have a world of peace, I must speak out on the issue of gun violence. Since when do people feel like they have the right to take someone's life with a gun when they are angry? Really? Who does that? It's getting to the point where people are using guns way too much. What happened to using our voices to communicate peacefully? It's like people don't even communicate anymore. They just pick up a gun and think about shooting someone. I take that back. They don't even think. They just do it. This means that when we have a plan for something that we need to make happen, we have to work peacefully and consistently to accomplish it. Sometimes being peaceful is always not easy, but it is a must. This is my plan to try to make the world a peaceful place to live, and I will do it well.
Marcus Performing Arts Center and We Energies are proud to sponsor the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Speech Contest. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I could start a riot.
I'm gonna read a few of these YouTube comments. Somebody said something about those BBLs, and no offense to any woman who got that. I just, to each their own, you know. It is a known fact that men that come from scarcity and or poverty backgrounds appreciate and are attracted to women who are larger. It's something evolutionary, right? Because in lean times, she has enough sustenance in order to like take care of the offspring. It's evolutionary. It's like midbrain stuff that goes back eons into our evolution. But it's translated into modern society, right? You see like rappers' girlfriends and the men that they prefer having BBLs. But them dudes have, like, poverty mindset is not, you can be rich and still have poverty mindset. So the things that exist culturally in poverty do not go away because you are rich. It is why even when, it's not all of them, but wealthy rappers that come from some of the most challenged backgrounds, they spend all their money on jewelry and cars, stuff that doesn't necessarily appreciate in value. Now, some of that is changing as we have become slightly more financially fluid. And there's always been a handful of rappers that were smart with their money and, you know, hip-hop moguls that have done other things and diversified their portfolios. But a bunch of them, they get a bunch of money. First thing they want to do is go to some Middle Eastern jeweler and get a damn chain with their name on it in diamonds. It's insane to me. You can look this up. I need to give you the search string so you can find the proper articles. Men who are of wealth that come from backgrounds and come from cultures where money is not just an end in itself, but a means to an end, prefer thinner women. Now, there's always going to be variation. Now, here's the other thing. Don't be confused by who men will sleep with. Men will sleep with all sorts of different kinds of women, and that's part of the problem. Because there are some women that have slept with some really fantastic men, like prominent men and famous men and men of stellar reputation, men that would make really good husbands, men that this woman would say, oh, wow, I would totally marry this guy. But that's where the confusion comes in, because a man will sleep with you does not mean that he likes you. And I just wish that more women knew that. Sometimes, absolutely, he does. Yep, he likes you, but men can and will sleep with women that we don't like. I just hope that everybody past the age of 30 already knew that. I don't want to be breaking that news to you. And I think that's where it gets kind of confusing. Because then you wonder why he's not calling you back. Well, he didn't like you. Right? He wasn't husband material anyway. Just saying, ladies. And don't get mad at me. I want y'all to win. I want women to win. And I also don't want you guys to think that because you have had physical escapades with some top-tier men, that doesn't mean that you can marry a top-tier man. It means you can sleep with a top-tier man. Absolutely, you can. More power to you. Get all those bodies, ladies. Get all the bodies. Count them up. Paige said something earlier about, you know, people lie about body count. Hell yeah, they do. Women underestimate. Men overestimate. Ask a man how many women he slept with, and the number is always divisible by 5. Always. It's just an estimate. It's like, well, I had a pretty good year that year. I don't know, 25, 30, 15. It's always divisible by 5. Women's number, a little bit more complicated because there's a bunch of escapades and scenarios and trysts that women just don't count. Well, that didn't count because it wasn't any good. Well, that didn't count because I was on vacation. Oh, it counts, lady. It counts. Men, we count every situation, don't we? We count situations that we ain't even really do it. You know, we were close. We could have. I mean, had I showed up on time, I could have. I'm just going to count that anyway. There's a big difference in how we consider counting our bodies. All right, Sir Chauncey says, WTF ain't the only type of folks that has a problem with a person they know is educated and highly articulate and still chooses to use forms of urban slang in their vernacular is bougie AF. Sir Chauncey says, even the doggone former President Obama has uttered the word ain't. That was just Bob trolling me. Because a lady called in. Y'all remember when that lady called in a couple of weeks ago? She just went off on me because I use certain words. I use AAVE, African American Vernacular English, every now and again. Now, I can straighten up and fly right and speak the King's English. I consider myself bilingual. Okay? I don't always need to speak the version of English that, quote unquote, they want me to speak. I speak the language and the version of English that I sometimes want to hear myself. And I don't got to defend that for nobody. Let's see. What else we got here? Curly Q says, at this point, how can anything be shocking involving Trump? It's just business as usual at this point. Not really. A City Girl says, they are the true thugs. It's unbelievable how nasty and threatening that letter was. Mo Love says, that's what I was waiting to hear. A property myself. That's true. Their pelvis can't take it. Oh, thanks for that, Al. Not really. A City Girl says, not all women. Al says, let's talk. Linda says, Sherwin/GKB, is there a link on the Truth website to purchase tickets? I certainly hope so. You talking about coming to the... I might as well read the damn thing. The Truth Awards. We did Gruber yesterday, right, Rick? Okay. What's today? The 14th. What's this? Yeah, you should be able to go to 1017thetruth.com, Linda. The Truth Annual. I got a thing here, a read with it. Are we not doing the Truth Community Awards thing? Yeah, right here. Get your tickets now for our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th, celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. Visit 1017thetruth.com to purchase your tickets. They're only $25, which includes heavy appetizers, a drink, and a great time hanging out with us. Yay. Don't wait. Don't miss your opportunity to attend the best community awards events of the year. I mean, that's a little ambitious. 1017thetruth.com to buy your tickets for our first annual Truth Community Awards at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel, Friday, February 28th, starting at 5 o'clock. Oh, and also on Monday, January 27th, I'm bartending, raising money for Axe Housing. All the tips collected go to support Axe Housing mission, their mission in providing affordable homes for people in our community. And I also got some new information about the event on the 27th, starting at 5:30 at the Pfister Hotel. You will be entered into a raffle to win a free stay at the Pfister Hotel. And every $10 you donate in tips to myself or my competition, D. Kemp, you get an additional raffle ticket for a generous stay at the Pfister Hotel. The virtual tip jar is open. If you go, I don't even know where I posted it at. I think I posted it. Go to my Facebook page and you can tip me. All the tips are tax deductible, so if you want to write off on your taxes, all the tips that are donated to the Blue Tender event where myself and D Page are going to be bartending, and it's a competition between me and her to see who can raise the most money in tips. I tell you this much, I got my virtual tip jar, and the event don't even start till the 27th, but my virtual tip jar is live already. I'm already getting that dough. Shout out to Truth Nation and the people that have donated to my virtual tip jar. I'm getting that dough because it's a competition to raise money for the Axe Housing. So if you show up at the event on the 27th, every $10 you donate gets you an additional raffle ticket, and they're giving away a free stay at the Pfister Hotel. So looking forward to seeing everybody on Monday, January 27th at 5:30. So I got this email this morning saying they're going to actually train me on how to be a bartender. Now, hold on now. Listen to me. Listen real good. Do not order complicated drinks from me. You will get a Bud Light. So I got to show up early because they're going to train me on how to be a bartender. Get this. The event starts at 5:30. You know what time they want me to show up for my bartender training? 5 o'clock. I only got 30 minutes to learn how to bartend. Y'all come in there ordering a brandy old-fashioned bourbon, sweet, sour, spritzer, Aperol, champagne, twist. Don't do that to me. Don't think it's sweet. And you can just, mess with Sherwin any old kind of way because I'm working behind the bar trying to earn these tips in the competition. I'm telling you right now, don't mess with me like that. You don't want me getting frustrated. Just saying. They only giving me 30 minutes to learn how to bartend. Why don't y'all just do this? Just come up there and order a vodka on the rocks. Make it easy for you, boy. Order a Crown Royal and Crown Royal and Coke. Order a Bacardi and Coke. Make it easy for me. All right, I got to take a break. I'm scared of some of the drinks y'all can order. And don't drink a Long Island iced tea. Who orders Long Island iced teas anyway? The last time somebody drank a Long Island iced tea was in 2006. No one should be drinking Long Islands after 2006. That was really a 90s drink. A Long Island iced tea. It's 37 kinds of liquor in a Long Island iced tea. You know what? The only thing that happens, I'm serious, 2 things will happen from drinking Long Island iced teas, okay? Only 2 things. There's only 2 outcomes. 1 is jail. 2 is pregnancy. So either you plan on getting pregnant or you plan on going to jail. And from what I heard coming out the county, you do not want to go to county jail. No, sir. So don't come up to me, hi, Sherwin, can I get a Long Island iced tea? Like, oh, you want to get pregnant tonight, huh? And or go to jail. So Monday, January 27th at the Pfister Hotel, 424 East Wisconsin Avenue, I'm participating in the Blue Tender event in which I am bartending along with my good friend and competitor, D. Kemp, who is the vice president of programs over at Axe Housing. We're going to see who can raise the most money in tips. My virtual tip jar is open. I posted it on my LinkedIn, and then I posted it on my main Facebook page. I'll post it again. I'll also post it in the Hughes Views Facebook group. I think it's pinned to the top of the Hughes Views Facebook group. Help your boy out. Submit a virtual tip. It's tax deductible. I know some of y'all make a lot of money and you need as many tax write-offs as you can get so you can donate to my virtual tip jar and write it off on your taxes. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Friday night, the Panthers look to be victorious as they host conference foe, the Youngstown State Penguins.
Stillwell takes it out of there. Panthers tied at 40 apiece. Folks on a step-through score. 94 feet of Themis Folks to give Milwaukee the lead right back.
Scott Warris has the coverage Friday starting at 6:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 7 o'clock.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is actshousing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Is your washing machine not quite getting the job done the way you expected? Running your dryer over and over because it is taking forever to dry your clothes? Be frustrated no more because Create Suds Laundromat in Milwaukee can get rid of all your washing and drying headaches. They offer new big load washers and dryers to reduce your cleaning time and even have free Wi-Fi for customers. Stop battling with stubborn stains and piles of laundry and visit Create Suds Laundromat. They are open every day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Now is the perfect time to join the Nextdoor family. Whether you're a parent seeking the best for your child or a professional ready to make a difference. At Nextdoor, children thrive in small classrooms with 2 teachers, exploring art, music, and STEAM. With special needs support, family resources, and kindergarten readiness, every child gets the attention they deserve. And they're also hiring. Enjoy competitive pay, great benefits, and opportunities for personal and professional growth in a fun, welcoming culture. Make a real impact in the community. Join Nextdoor today, where every child, every family, and every team member matters.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, MLK Day is approaching, and we're excited to partner with the YMCA of Metropolitan Milwaukee and the Marcus Performing Arts Center to celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. On Monday, January 20th, our Truth team will kick off the MLK celebration with a broadcast of Jammin' with Juice live from the YMCA's 28th annual Dr. MLK Breakfast Celebration at Potawatomi from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. The Marcus Performing Arts Center will continue the celebration from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. as the Tory Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris will be broadcasted live from the Marcus Performing Arts Center's 41st annual Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. Come celebrate the legacy of Dr. King with the award-winning 1017 The Truth all day long. And Truth Nation, the home of Milwaukee Black Talk, is raising the bar. Tap into The Truth on Monday, January 20th for the debut of our new shows. Get your drop of juice every morning on Jammin' with Juice with Carrie and Ben from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. Then from noon until 1 p.m., tune into the debut of Truth to Power with our very own Kyle Wallace. Jammin' with Juice and Truth to Power will be bringing energy, entertainment, and their authentic truths from a millennial perspective. Yay, millennials. So do not miss the highly anticipated debut of Jammin' with Juice in the morning with Ben and Carrie, and Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on Monday, January 20th, starting at 7 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. The next generation has arrived. And 1017 The Truth is the home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. It's ladies' night, and we have a great game of girls basketball for you as the Milwaukee School of Languages Hawks takes on the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. Rawr. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. City Conference game of the week on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and thetruth.com. 1017thetruth.com. Sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. All right, guys. That's enough of you, Boney James. Had enough of you. Let's see what else we got. Anything on the text line? Dion asked, do you feel the Democrats should attend the inauguration? Yes, they should. Why would they not attend? Yeah, it's a transfer of power. Just because you don't like the person that's getting inaugurated doesn't mean that you shouldn't go. There's other ways in which you can show your disdain for Donald Trump by coming up with common sense antidotes to his policies. But no, I think they all should go. I know I'm not going. Even if I got a free ticket, I wouldn't go to the Trump inauguration because I don't, for what? His speech is going to be frightening. I know that much. Let's see what we got going on the YouTube. If you haven't done so already, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth. Hit subscribe. We just hit a milestone of subscribers. So need more subscribers so we can get to 1 million or whatever. You also can watch our in-studio cameras, and if you ever miss a show, you can go back to YouTube and look at our shows. Caden says, sounds like you need to take a bartending class. No, I don't. I'm going to learn all I need to know in 30 minutes before my bartending fundraising event at the Fister on Monday, January 27th. 30 minutes is enough. I just need y'all to be civilized and have some respect for the fact that I am not a trained bartender. I'm doing this to raise money for an organization whose mission I deeply believe in. I've been working with Axe Housing essentially since I started here at The Truth because I want more of our people to be homeowners. And they're going to assist me in helping to raise money for the organization. The Pfister has allowed us to use their beautiful space. Blue, if you've never been there before, it's a fancy joint. The 23rd floor of the Pfister. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful views of the city. I would argue some of the most beautiful views of the city of Milwaukee can be had from the lounge called Blue, high atop the Pfister Hotel on the 23rd floor. 424 East Wisconsin Avenue, for those of you that have never been there. For every $10 you donate to the cause and in tips to myself and or my competition, D. Kemp, you receive an additional raffle ticket for a one-night stay at the Pfister Hotel. Everyone who attends gets a raffle ticket for a one-night stay at the Pfister Hotel. So come on and join us. And don't order Long Island iced teas, because if you do, I'm going to judge you. I'm going to say, oh, you want to go to jail tonight and or get pregnant, maybe in the same night. Imagine going to jail and getting pregnant in the same night. Well, thank you guys for listening. I think we accomplished something today. And we also heard what it would be like if Barack Obama was chasing Michelle Obama. He's just running around wearing boxer shorts and church socks. And Michelle Obama is wearing some footies and a bralette with a rose in her mouth. Have a great day. Jamming with Juice is up next.
Truth Nation, we have a special announcement alert. Tune in to Truth Be Told at 8:30.